Oh my god.
Saki, I think you're...
You married it instead.
You married
Just
it.
the headline of like the guys at the tech thing, and there was like a live doll there. And they soiled it within like a weekend of looking at it, like for 3,000 pounds of damage.
Oh my god.
No.
Can't be true.
Hey, hi everybody, I'm back. I'm live.
We're all live.
I'm live.
We're all in the same room.
I'm Chris.
I'm Doug.
And I'm Josh.
And I'm Saki!
Yay, Saki.
Down in front.
Way in the front.
So yeah, we're here to bring you our Game of the Year show and whatnot, you know, keeping it real, keeping it live. I just, we didn't have a show last week because I figured I wanted to kind of wait until I was in town to do this show with you guys.
That's okay, we just missed the biggest movie of the year.
Well, you know what, let's briefly, and I mean briefly because in the 2 weeks since this movie came out, well, it is the internet.
That's fine, keep going.
It's fine. We'll be fine.
We're not doing gameplay, we're just doing it.
It's true. It's just, as long as the audio goes, it's fine.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But yeah, so, briefly, because the world can become a shit show real quick.
Yeah.
When it comes to Star Wars. So let's talk about how Star Wars The Last Jedi was amazing and people that hated are whiny fanboys.
Yeah, that sums it up. It was a really enjoyable movie, and Doug and I talked about it. I felt very strange after watching it because something was wrong, and then Doug explained it. It's like, this is a third act film.
It's not all of it. It's the whole thing.
Yeah. And then that
over, and now there's another part.
Yeah, and that kind of made that made me feel like really good about the film. I was like, yeah, it was a third act, and it was kind of satisfying on so many different levels. And holy shit, like, can we talk about like how quick like Supreme like leader goes down?
Spoilers.
You know what's great? No, you know what? It's fine.
Yeah, no, fuck them.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, Supreme leader just bam.
And it's great because, and people were like, "Oh, we never learned anything." I was like, "It doesn't matter because
That's what's hilarious.
He's dead.
Well, it's not even that it's hilarious. It's like these people act like it's never happened before. You know, until the extended universe and 17 prequels and cartoons and stuff. Could you tell me anything about Palpatine and Boba Fett?
He didn't even have his name.
No, it was the Emperor, and people were freaking out that we didn't learn enough about Snoke's
Not only that,
backstory.
who's the coolest character in the entire prequel trilogy? Darth Maul.
Jar Jar Binks!
Another character chopped in half before you found out.
So it's just that.
It's almost like he's just literally going, nope, he's a Maul. He's reverse Maul.
Done.
He's gonna kill the master.
There's a part in the movie that's so bad that they even cut the sound out.
Oh my god.
I like that part!
The sound dropped, so they had to put up a notice
Yep.
Yeah,
to
so
warn people
Well, it's
there's a
funny
part in the
because
middle of the movie. that the
Our
sound-
notice at our theater said 10 minutes of silence.
Oh,
and so I'm
Jesus.
sitting there going like, it's in the saying 10 minutes of pure silence. I thought maybe it would be one of those things where like
Oh,
a giant
God,
explosion goes off next to one of the main character's ears. The movie is they can't hear.
I didn't even notice that. There was a moment of silence?
When the ships collide.
It's a hyperspace thing, like it goes
There's no
silent.
sound.
When
We didn't notice
when the
because there
general
were so many
slams.
gasps.
No, Josh. When the general slams into the other ship.
Yeah, well, I didn't. That was one of the best parts of the movie. I didn't care there was
That's probably the most beautiful explosion.
Yeah,
I didn't have a sign at my screening because we're adults and I could figure out when things happen in the movie. But I going in, a friend had texted in one of my group texts this was the most gorgeous scene in any sci-fi movie he had ever seen.
yeah.
God, yeah.
And
Lightspeed Kamikaze.
my jaw dropped.
You
when
can
I
ask
saw that.
Saki.
Like,
I
There were
I
audible
straight
gasps.
up- Yep.
Like there was one of those like I didn't mean to clap.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I like that a lot.
I want
Your hand up the whole time.
I want that picture. I want a picture of that so badly for my computer, and I can't find it yet.
No.
Saki, you're blocking me. That's
That
mean.
would be an amazing
But I
wallpaper.
want it.
It's going
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
No, that was one of the best scenes in the movie.
And Luke Skywalker. I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty ballsy of them to be like, yo, Luke really fucking sucks. and then he quit and ran like a huge coward.
It makes the prequels even better because the prequels show why he was pissed.
You know what though? Like everybody's talking about how it reversed everything, but it everything.
Yeah.
Is the thing. Jedi's always sucked. They always ran away. This is the
this is my
didn't
favorite.
pretend that was a
someone
cool
pictured
thing
was
to do.
like,
Yeah,
was
that's
like, I
true.
can't believe why Luke would ever run away. And then it shows Obi-Wan, actually, when my apprentice turned into Darth Vader, I hid on a desert planet under a fake name and hope no one noticed me.
Yeah, and then Yoda runs
I
away.
completely missed that Palpatine was a Sith Lord, so I ran away and lived in the swamp. It's kind of what we do.
Yeah, the Jedi's are like, peace, I'm done. I can't deal with this shit.
When Luke has that scene where he's like, the legacy of the Jedi is built on failure. I was
It's
like,
finally someone acknowledges the fact that
like-
they've sucked this
like a
whole
light
time.
bulb, a light bulb clicked for every conversation that we've ever had. We're like, oh, the Jedi fucking blow. Look at these losers. And then Luke is like, yo, we fucking suck. And it's like,
Asshole, they can't even interpret a prophecy properly.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
Anyway, so yeah, that
At the end of the day.
So Ryan Johnson is clearly a fan of the cast.
yes, it's a great movie.
So
Yeah.
point is, I'm very excited about
There's only one scene that I thought was a great scene, and I laughed at it because it's very silly and it's Leia in space.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that
And
was kind of strange.
it's so silly, but it's still kind of awesome, and I was okay with it.
But that
Well,
could
here's
have
my
been the best
thing is
time
though,
to
like,
kill them off.
as far as like the suspension of disbelief, I found the third time I watched it when I could finally see Leia instead of Carrie Fisher, that scene didn't bother me as much.
Yeah.
And it's because like every time Carrie was on screen the first time I saw it, I was taken out of the movie by sadness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
And so like everything she did sounded like a stupid line for babies to listen to. Because I was like, why are we in this goofy movie that killed this woman? I was really upset. I was just sad and blaming everything.
I think you can blame the airlines for that.
Yeah, that's true.
However,
Let's press on.
we are
Wait,
here.
no!
What?
I'm mad that Finn is straight. He needs to be with Poe.
Well, that's
We don't
obvious.
know that he's straight.
Yeah.
He's
No,
bi.
she likes him. He was like weirded out by the kiss. I'm still going Finn Poe, but also
Yeah.
Poe Ray. So Poe
You
gets
know,
around.
make it a square.
I think it's a Finn Poe Ray.
Make it a ship square.
It's a
You know
quadrangle.
what it is?
Poe's toxic masculinity
um,
needs some gas.
Chris,
Well, he can learn. He's
Chris
He
is
needs
so-
some sparkle with that
Chris
toxic
learned himself.
masculinity.
Chris's lady is Team Kyron.
Yeah. Which one's Kylo?
Kylo.
Oh,
Raylo.
like
Raylo.
yeah.
We did not
they
need
were
shirtless
very
Adam
happy
Driver.
about this movie, I think, because it at least went that way a little bit more than what the
Look,
last
we
one was
could
doing.
spend hours talking about
We
Last
really
Jedi.
could.
Yeah.
We probably will.
We will. We need to press on. We're not even talking about Kando Bites. We're not talking about Kylo.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the final thing on the Salt Planet, which is
Oh,
So,
yeah.
great idea.
Those things that you don't notice when it's happening because you're so engrossed. Okay, anyway. So, to move to the game portion, because that's why we are here tonight,
Game
Ball.
of the year!
we're going to start with, speaking of Saki pork? Porgy? Porky?
Porgies?
go talk about the games with gold, please.
So, in January, we have a new round of brand new free games people.
Free games.
So, both are kind of stepping it up, in a sense.
Okay.
The 360 is getting Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider Underworld. On the 360 back in the day.
Oh, back in the
and
day.
Army of Two.
Wait, 360 is still getting free games?
Well, no, it's because the Xbox One has backwards compatibility.
Wait, what just happened?
I forgot about that thing.
You
The
didn't,
controller
you
died.
didn't do the thing.
I forgot
Oh,
to.
no.
It's fine.
Okay, we're still
back.
here.
Oh no.
We're back.
Okay.
Okay.
We're professionals.
Yeah, we're,
We've done this.
We haven't
Anyway.
done this in a long time.
Anyway.
We've done this.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Anyway, so Tomb Raider Underworld and Army of Two, because the 360, all 360 games are backwards compatible to Xbox One
Okay.
going forward.
And what
It's-
better way to like give a gift to someone you love than Army of Two?
I know, right? Here's your
What's
army.
next, Kane and Lynch?
Oh,
Oh,
you wish.
no.
No, so, and then the Xbox One is getting Van Helsing, the Van Helsing game, and, I'm sorry, The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, the 3.
Oh,
Third part of the
I can't jump into the third party.
And
Yeah.
Zombie, the Xbox port of the Wii U game Zombie U.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So not the greatest month Xbox has ever had, but not a terrible month.
No, not at all.
Alright.
Now PlayStation, once again, is doing the thing where you get 2 PS4 games, 1 PSVR game, 2 Vita games, and 2 PS3 games.
That's actually
7 free games this month.
Uh-huh.
And so
Uh-huh.
the PS and actually both Vita games are cross-play with PS4, so PS4 gets 5 games this month. The the indie game Uncanny Valley, and the visual novel weeaboo game Psychopath Management. For those that enjoy Phoenix Wright or Virtue's Last Reward or any of those.
Psychopaths Mandatory Happiness?
Yeah, it's based on an anime called Psychopaths, where it's like a dystopia Deus Ex universe where people, they can like scan people's feelings and if they are about to commit a crime, it's like Minority Report style.
Future crime.
And they can shoot you, they'll shoot you with a gun, and if you have evil or maliciousness in your heart, you explode Akira style.
Oh, okay, fun.
It's pretty. It's a very dark show.
I think
so. They made a visual novel out of it.
Why not?
The PS3 is getting Sacred 3, which is the it's an action RPG.
Yeah, you know, you're jumping into
or Sacred 1 or 2.
I'm waiting for you to say about it something that just has like the word 2 in it.
Yeah, I can't jump into a Sacred.
Book of Unwritten Tales 2. Don't really know much. The Playlink games, and if you don't remember Playlink, they're the ones that make like Hidden Agenda that we played a lot during the Cherry stream, stuff like that. Games that use your phones to play the game.
Oh yeah.
That's You is still free. PSVR is getting Starblood Arena for free, and then PS4 proper is getting the Telltale Batman game.
Oh really?
The entire first game.
Oh, that's good. I
all
want to play
5
that
chapters,
and not want to pay for it.
The big one, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Completely free.
Okay,
that's a great game.
That's funny because I was about to buy that. It was $20. I was about to purchase it, and then now hearing that makes me really happy.
You got it for free, baby.
That's a great game.
That is an amazing game.
Awesome.
So, speaking of amazing games, 2017 was a watershed year.
Oh, it was a great year. It was such a great year that I want to pick this dog up and throw it.
What am I forgetting?
The hot takedown.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Before we can begin the game of the years, we have the hot takedown, where Chris finds a terrible top 10 list on the internet.
Hot takedown.
And we look at it.
Boom.
You guys, I want you to know, I went looking for a top 10 list after we made this bit last time, and I think I have found the worst top 10 list of all time.
The worst.
Now, is this worse than the Pixar one?
That's pretty
that
bad.
one is objectively. I remember your looks of
Cars.
incredulousness
Cars.
when you realized that Cars 2 and Cars 1 had not been picked yet. And we were in the top 5.
So let me rephrase. The content of the list is fine, but it's the paragraphs the man has written underneath certain characters that are awful.
Alright, so the top 10 most overrated superheroes.
Yes, and I'm going to read some of them because I didn't get a chance to pull quotes.
Okay.
Number 10 is Lex Luthor.
Who is not a superhero.
No, not a superhero. But here's the telling quote.
He's a pretty overrated superhero.
Here's the telling quote. And why? Well, he's a millionaire tycoon. He can buy and sell mad geniuses to invent stuff for him. And he's bald. Exactly why does Lex deserve all the attention he's gotten over the years? I'm not convinced this person has ever read a Superman thing in his life.
What?
Alright, number 9.
Number 9 is Cyborg. And I'm not going to read all this because it's basically like, well, why is a black guy in here now?
What?
Cyborg's not highly rated, so he can't possibly be more rated than he deserves.
That said, he's being brought to the new version of Justice League for reasons of political correctness.
Oh, is this on Squawker?
This is on PJ.
I do want to. I have my own little gripe with Cyborg being promoted because he's my favorite Teen Titan, and I hate the just thievery, the downright thievery.
The Teen Titans have been doing the work for years.
You've got John Stewart
Booyah!
if you need a black guy, you know what I mean?
Anyway, John Stewart's the best.
Number 8.
She-Hulk, which apparently he's just like, no one could possibly care about this woman who could pick up boyfriends under her arms.
This guy's never read a comic.
Now, number 7.
Number 7 is The Crow. I would also argue that no one rates The Crow. So why is he
Top 10 superheroes ever? The Crow, that revenge thing that was one book.
Yeah. That's weird.
The top 10 most overrated superheroes.
This has to be like the people he's hanging out with. He's like, I love The Crow.
Why are people always talking about the Ray?
And here's the thing. He writes it. The guy writes, for a brief shining moment, the Crow generated some heat with a portion of the public before it mercifully faded from the scene. There's no mention of the fact that the crow might have been huger if Brandon Lee was not gunned down in the middle of it. Number 6.
It could have been huge.
Could have been huge.
Alright, number 6.
Number 6, Elektra.
Okay.
This
Again,
makes no sense.
How many of these characters have not been superheroes so far? I think an equivalent amount of characters
Right.
that
The
are.
line to take away from this is clearly she seemed to be a more with editors than anyone else.
Oh my god.
I'm struggling to think of like Elektra from like 1980 something.
Why do people who are voluntarily writing their own blogs sound like they have an editor breathing down their neck, making them write a thing? I have no idea.
5 is the Wasp. Who
Again.
What
is this list?
was
This is an
super
underrated
dead.
list, written troll style.
She was super dead for a long time. The biggest gripe with the Wasp is that it dwarfed her husband Ant-Man and kind of kicked him out of the Avengers.
Suck it,
Do you
dick.
think he has any concept of the irony of that sentence?
No,
It's not.
I guarantee you he does not. And I'm not convinced that this is not like a gag list, but it seems to be played pretty straight.
Number 4.
Number 4, the Punisher.
Once again. Okay, so Wasp and She-Hulk are the only superheroes I remember off of this list right now.
Yeah. There's no good quotes from the Punisher. He just basically runs down the Punisher's history. No opinion given on the Punisher.
Oh.
Number 3, Spawn. Which, not since 1997 has anyone considered Spawn
In the top
anything.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
Also, still not a superhero. Go on.
Yeah.
Just some guy with a cape.
Alright. This list was written in 2014.
Oh, okay.
Number 2, Wonder Woman.
Oh, sorry, Saki.
Saki, no, it's okay.
And here is-
It's okay.
Here is the line of the thing. Even with low sales, it's always been considered a good policy by DC to keep publishing a Wonder Woman title, if only for copyright purposes. After all, the character did manage to have a semi-successful TV series in the 70s and was constantly mentioned as movie material. But with the example of other action heroines in film, check out Elektra for example, it is unlikely the overrated Wonder Woman will make it to celluloid except in the company with her male friends on the Justice League. Ha! It's so gratifying to look at this list and say, you're fucking wrong. Every inch of you is
the only
wrong.
one that's good.
Every
Also,
inch.
Why does this feel like it was written by whoever is the top executive at Warner Brothers? Because that's the fucking company line that they were saying up until it came out.
And here's number 1.
Ooh, who's number 1?
Number 1, and it has the best pull quote.
Spidey.
It is Wolverine, which you could make the argument for. But his argument is shot to shreds immediately. Is Wolverine really much more interesting than practically any other hero? Or is what we have seen so far all the media moguls have? Where are his frailties, his personal tragedies, his doubts and fears? Where is the human dimension?
What?
Logan has been involved in romantic relationships, but all have failed to generate heat such that readers and reviewers cannot be convinced of his sincerity. All of it doesn't add up to much, and in the end it seems Wolverine has never deserved to be cast in a major spotlight. As a result, he is likely the most overrated superhero of all time.
Yeah.
This kid's read like 10 comics.
That's the great line, is where is his human dimension? It's in the comics.
Yeah.
40 years of comics.
That's what got him big in the first place. All this just him showing up packet slash shit.
Matthew,
What are
what'd you
you
do?
doing?
Matt,
So
you're failing.
sorry.
Yo, it's I don't even want to talk about this list because it's awful. You can just
That kid is awful.
So,
it's awful. It's awful. Everything about this list is awful.
let's do it, switching to the Game of the Year show.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna just knock it out in a very straightforward fashion. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go number 10, go over that, number 9, like that, in a row, and give a brief reason why you love your game. And it's gonna be very simple.
It is. I might just have a 5.
That's fine.
Okay.
Tell us when you want to jump in.
I'll jump in.
At number 5?
Yeah, I'll probably jump in at number 5. I have a top 5. I haven't played a lot of games this year.
Let's go. Let's go.
So Chris, number 10.
Number 10. I have chosen Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Really?
Yes, I just started playing it. That's why it's ranked so lowly.
Yeah, because you were afraid to play it.
I was, but I've watched like 7 Let's Plays, and I think I'm not scared anymore. So
That's
so I started because the Gold Edition just came out.
it's such a really good game. It's
Yes,
probably one of the
it
best
is.
Resident Evils I've played. It's much higher on my list because of just it is a fresh take on survival horror.
Yep.
And the
It's what
atmosphere.
Resident Evil needed to.
Yeah.
It was the
going
big
back to
shot.
basics while revolutionizing.
Yes.
Yeah, and the atmosphere is one of the best.
Yes.
It is.
I don't know if it's because we all live in the South, and it's not so far-fetched to find the baker's house anywhere.
No, you're right.
But
You're right.
But the atmosphere worked really well for me, and I think everything is very smooth in a way that Resident Evil games have been recently with 06 and 7 and 5. What's is 6 the giraffe one?
Yes.
Okay.
6 is the giraffe one.
So
yes, it is.
So they went kind of too far in the action way, and just kind of brought it back to basics.
Yeah.
And if they make 8, I want 8 to be in a similar style.
Yeah. Okay. What is he doing?
I don't know. Are you
Okay,
hot?
it's weird.
Shorts.
Okay, number 10.
Number 10 for me is Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS.
Oh yeah, you do have a wider list.
Matt, so here's how it's gonna go. Matt's got a big list. I have 10, but they're the only 10 that count this.
I had to make a lot of cuts.
You made a lot of cuts.
There were-
I made no cuts.
There were, I mean, it happens every year, especially
Yeah.
this year with this many quality games hitting.
Yes.
I had to cut
That's true.
a lot. Yes, Doug, audio only, unfortunately, but that is just how we're rolling. At least it's still streaming.
Yes.
So technically we're live, you just can't see it.
Oh good, you can hear us. And that's all that matters.
So they can't see me?
They can't see what I'm doing!
Oh,
All right. So Metroid Samus Returns.
Yep, it took the weakest of the Metroid games and revamped it into one.
That's good. That's good to know.
Metroid 2 is firmly at the bottom of the barrel in
Yeah.
Metroid games, like
Of
below
the
zero,
6 Metroid
below
games.
other M. So there's
There
Metroid,
are baker's dozens.
Metroid 2.
Oh, other
there's
M was
Super
awful.
Metroid. There's other M. There's Hunters and
No, those aren't games.
Pinball.
Those aren't. Yeah.
and
Those aren't games.
Federation Force. But that's like counting Mario Golf as a Mario game. It doesn't count.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's amazing. I really loved it. I 100%ed it. Hey, video's back.
Hey.
Yay!
Zach, come back. You're on video.
Video's back.
This is also on my list, and I'll talk about it
Okay,
later.
so number 9.
Yes. Oh, number 9 for me is Prey. The Bethesda remake of Prey. It's really low on my list. I didn't really love it, but it's on my list because it is a game I played, and I don't have anything else to replace it with. So, hence why it's low.
Okay.
But Prey had its moments. Prey was at least interesting concept-wise. It didn't work for me as a whole, but I think it's in discussion for other people. So.
I mean, I've heard I've heard it's a very polarizing game. You either love it or you hate it.
Yes.
I've heard that the combat is its biggest weakness.
It is. That was my
They
biggest
should have
problem.
just gone full on like an atmospheric simulator type game.
I found there was not enough ammo, and the guns did not do enough damage.
Yeah.
And then I found out there was a upgrade to upgrade your damage to like
Okay.
reasonable levels. So fuck me, I guess.
Number 9 for me is What Remains of Edith Finch.
What does remain of Edith Finch?
Nothing.
The feels.
Oh.
The feels, and they'll hurt. That game hurts you right in the. It makes your feel bads hurt.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if I was a parent, that game would terrify me.
It hurts so good.
Oh.
As it stands, if I ever have a kid, I will never let them be in the bathtub alone.
Ooh.
Oh my god, is it a drowning simulator?
There is one?
Basically go through and this family is known to be like a cursed family because every one of the family members die a horrible early on in their life at some point. And you're the daughter of the only remaining like sibling of the main Finch family, and she just died, or she died in childbirth. It's a very ambiguous game, and you go to your old great grandmother's house, and you're reliving she has a shrine to each of them, and you're basically relive the scenarios that led to their death. And some of them are symbolic, some of them are, well, most of them are symbolic. None of them are like straightforward. They're all told like from the vantage point of like a young kid, imagining what might be on or something like that. It is dark and twisted, and but in like such a good way. I don't know.
Okay.
It's crazy. It's short too. We knocked it out in an afternoon. But man, it sticks with you. All right, number 8, Chris.
Number 8, I have Cuphead.
Me too.
My number 8 is Cuphead.
Hey! So
Which is funny because Chris, how many bosses in Cuphead did you beat?
I have well, like 2, 1, 1.
I beat 0, but it is a game that I have played.
Oh.
Yeah. So
And it's gorgeous. and
So
amazing.
here's the primary reason, because this game was something. It was kind of a unicorn when we saw it on the Xbox conference at E3 years ago, and it's a gorgeous game. It's got a beautiful soundtrack. It looks amazing, and no one, I think, expected it to be the most difficult game of the year.
You know.
Oh, awesome.
I had a feeling it was going to be, just because they were going for that old school, but I don't think anyone expected it to be as hard.
Yeah. So I have it down pretty low because while I love everything about it, I can't physically play it.
And let me tell you, if you watch,
It's very like those old games. People forget that those are difficult.
that's what
They
it's
weren't
like
complicated.
Battletoads,
Games now are complicated,
but they're not difficult.
but they're not that hard. Games back then were super simple and like impossible. And it's a combination of several of the most impossible types of games. So it's like the part from Mario where you have to bounce on fucking things that are floating the other direction. There's Contra shooting at you, and then Mega Man, which was already impossible anyway. Touch something, you're dead.
and it's great because then it also adds that element that recent games have added where you get scored and ranked upon your performance.
Oh, yeah.
So then you have to go back and beat it flawlessly without missing a shot,
A+.
with parrying every attack, with not being hit once.
Oh, fuck that noise.
Connecting with every special. Like you can't, and it's amazing. And then when you beat the game, you realize that you just played on normal, and you unlock hard mode, where it's one hit, one kill.
I mean, again, this is not a game for me, but I'll fight for it because it's unlike any other game we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is a game for Korean children.
if you watch our charity stream and you watch Kevin and I take out 14 bosses,
Jesus.
and then we got to one that by the time it was like 4 a.m. our bodies were shredded and our minds were gone, and this stupid roller coaster carnival boss just would not go.
I know
down.
exactly the one you're talking about. I would love for them just to make Cuphead a short.
Just make it a
Just make
video
it
I can watch.
make it a movie that I can
Please.
enjoy.
Please do.
All right, number 7, Chris.
Number 7, I have Metroid: Samus Returns.
Okay,
Uh,
that seems familiar.
yes, well, it's a return to form. And I'm not sure.
I don't know, I'm just excited about Metroid.
I'm not sure if it's a good game or if it's the fact that we have been starved for a proper Metroid. Because when I play it, it feels good. It feels right. And it makes me happy. But I don't know if it's good because it's scratching a very particular itch that hasn't existed in a long time. So for that, I give it props for this.
Nice. Okay.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is, and if you know me, and you know how much I like this game, it should really just show you how strong 2017 is as a whole.
Okay.
Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For me,
okay.
Uncharted
Yeah.
game is a number 7, and it's an upper tier Uncharted game.
Yeah,
Like it is a top 3 Uncharted game. That's how good it is. I love Lost Legacy. Caitlin watched me play it, like the whole thing.
Who's Caitlin?
Saki watched me play Saki. Remember the game with the 2 strong women?
Hell yeah!
It was like a 4.
So, Saki, you never watched Uncharted 1 or 2 or anything, so what was your take on Chloe?
She's badass.
Yeah, that's it? That's all you got?
That's all Saki has.
I like that Saki's very succinct
I like
in her
Chloe.
impressions. No, I like it because Chloe was completely skipped over in 3 and 4. Gosh dang it. 3 and 4 for the most part. So it was just really nice to have her back.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's called The Lost Legacy because it deals in the legacy of her people. And I like the way that they keep finding these
So is this going to be the future for Uncharted?
We don't actually know what's going to happen with Uncharted now.
I kind of wish we do like a little more side story because there's so much game. And, you know,
well, that's what we're going to do. And I loved it because it took the Last of Us approach and gave you more verticality, gave you more open world stuff. There was an entire chapter that you could go from point like Breath of the Wild. You can go straight to Ganon's castle if you want. You can go straight to the tower you need to go to, but you have this giant open thing you can spend easily 5 to 6 hours exploring and collecting everything, doing all the extras. It was amazing. I loved it. Lost Legacy. So number 6, Chris, what you got?
Number 6, I have Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Yes.
Only 6?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Rude.
You're rude. What can we say about this game? I know you're gonna have words about it later.
You know it.
It's a pretty fantastic little downloadable game that deals pretty heavily with a subject we haven't seen a whole ton of with post-traumatic stress disorder, and that just there you are. It's just weird getting back into the rhythm of having you here and then doing stuff as opposed to shutting off your camera.
Right.
But no, I think it's a great story as far as a game goes, and it's probably one of the strongest ones this year.
Fact.
Yeah. So, number 6.
Number 6 for me. South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
You know what?
Butthole.
I do have to agree. That's a number 6. That would be number 6. I can come in now with number 6.
Okay.
South Park would be
really
number
like
6.
it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's like Chris said. Or it's like Chris always says back even when we were talking about Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
Hi, Kogasu.
Hey, Kokasu's here. Sorry.
Kogasu!
My parents' internet is really bad, Kogasu, so the signal is not strong enough to show video like I was hoping. So you can just hear us. But it's
If
fine.
you can hear us.
We're on number 6 of our personal top 10s. And like, if you don't like South Park like Chris, doesn't matter how good an RPG it is, this game is completely based on how much you love the source material.
Oh yeah.